Everybody came loose, man. Everybody came loose.
You know, it's getting that like, you know what I'm saying? You get that rattle.
Get back.
Wait till it come on. You turn the music down, man. So you turn the music down. How much you roll with these? Ooh. I have this. And that. Microphone sound good.
Oh yeah.
This. I gotta breathe.
Look at it.
This. And that. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is your host, Joaquin Thompson, of the Daily Bread Radio Show, coming to you live from Snellville, but that's all right, though. That's all right. We got some new additions here. We got this, and we got that. Like they said, this, and that. So we got a couple new friends in the studio, so we want everybody to know what we're doing here. We got the Daily Bread Radio Show and Gorilla Publishing. And of course, we got DKMRadio.com, the sponsor of all sponsors, helping us to, you know, move the airways and do the things that we do and keep it moving. Just keep everything moving.
Keep it moving.
So we're really excited for today's show. We've been talking about this for a while, and before we get into today's show, a couple of things I definitely wanted to do before we get going. The first one is, as many of you all know, and we talk about Duval a lot, the last 7 days in Duval have been extremely difficult. We've had two significant shootings in the area. One was, you know, for the most part, people say it was locally, you know, generated, or it came from a local base, and the other one was more on a national level. Very unfortunate shooting over at Rains High School last Friday night, and you know, we had a fatality, a loss of life. And as a parent, you know, my heart goes out to to the parent that lost a child, because that's something that you can't say, I know how you feel, because that's something that, unless a parent has lost a child, you can't really say with confidence that you know how you feel. So the only thing you can do is pray for that particular family, because that's a tremendous loss, especially in high school, because everybody's just so innocent and they're growing. You got your whole life in front of you. And so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. The other one was also loss of life, and several people also got injured. And that was the incident that happened at the Jacksonville Landing on Sunday during the Madden tournament, or the EA Sports gaming tournament. Even though that was more of a national level, it still took place in Duval. And we really don't want anything non-positive to be happening in your hometown. So I said, you know, all week I couldn't wait to get to the show to really just, you know, share my sentiments and to send out my prayers and thoughts to, and not just the people that had lost life, but all of the, you know, everybody who's been impacted by that. Yes. All of the residents of Jacksonville, Florida, all of the people that, like myself, born and raised there, you know, and just how it makes you feel when you see something like that, when you get in a black eye, and times are just changing. I mean, times are definitely changing. I've been reading all of the, you know, feedback on social media, and, you know, the only thing I'm asking for is just for God to just bring comfort, and to bring peace, grace. Just bring grace and mercy to that region, so that way we can get past this and really go into a more positive direction. And really, you know, I'm asking that He would touch some of these, you know, some of these young men and young women that are really just going in the wrong direction, that He would touch their heart and just make a change within them, because, I mean, all of this death and destruction and loss of life is just, it's just hard. It's hard on everybody. It's hard on the moms, the dads, the aunts, the uncles, the school systems. I mean, just think about it now. Like, you in school, I mean, I remember we couldn't wait for Friday night, have a pep rally, football game. But now I was thinking over the last week, like, if with all this stuff going on, I don't know how I would feel about my son or daughter going out to a football game, something as innocent as a football game. And even the players on the field, because you think about people shooting, anything can happen anywhere. So it's just, you know, we don't want fear to be the dominant spirit in our lives because we believe in God for all things, but at the same time, we want to make sure that you are safe and you are thinking from a rational standpoint. So definitely want to put that out to all of the residents of Jacksonville, and you know how much I love Duval, so had to say that before we even got going today. But today's show is going to be a very, very special show, and before my guest calls in, I'm going to just give you all a quick synopsis on how we got here today. I've been talking about this topic. This will probably be the fourth time that I've talked about this topic, and it's the topic is centered around what's called the infinite banking concept. The infinite banking concept is something that I would encourage everyone that is listening to the show live, everyone that's going to listen to the replay, and everyone that has the ability to share with someone. So the infinite banking concept, and I touched on it last week when my aunt called in and we was talking about term life and whole life. So I'm not going to steal my guest thunder, but it's something that I would encourage everybody, regardless of what your age is, to really take some time right now, go get your pen or a pencil and some paper and take some notes on this subject, because this is something, not only will it change your life, if you take action. So let me give you the disclaimer. If you take action, not only does it have the potential to change your life, but this could change the legacy that you impact going forward. I mean, this is a very, very serious, and we talk about personal finance on the Daily Bread Radio Show about all the topics that we talked about. Of course, credit is at the top of everybody's list, and budgets and debt elimination. But this concept, the infinite banking concept, is something that very few people know about. But the more people, especially in our community, and that's part of my charge on the Daily Bread Radio Show, is to make sure as I get access and exposure to different information, it's my responsibility to disseminate that information out. Because it does me no good to have this stuff and say, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. And then you got the listeners, people that are, tuning in. Eminem, my son Joaquin, I just see my daughter Ashley on, my wife Tanya, Pat. I mean, and as different people join the broadcast, and even the people that listen to the replay, because I know, I'm competing against football and other things, and people have things to do, so I get it. But it's my responsibility to get this information out, because as I get it out to you, then it becomes your responsibility to get it out to other people. Because again, I don't want you to get it, sit on it, and I also don't want you to get it and not take action. And remove all of the barriers. Before we even bring the guest on, I want you to be thinking with an open mind and not thinking, oh, I don't have enough, or how much do I need, or just get all of that out of the way. Because like Les Brown says, he has a famous quote. He says, we buy what we want and we beg for what we need. We buy what we want and we beg for what we need. So we need to change that paradigm around and make sure that we put ourselves in a position to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can't do this, but I can at least do this. Or I can start taking some baby steps. It's like working out or anything else that you want to start. Yeah, you can't go right into the gym. I got a good friend of mine. He posted a lot of pictures on Facebook, and David Wright went to Howard with us. He frat. Shout out to the good bros. But he had this one video. He's sitting there talking, and he's curling with one arm a 90-pound dumbbell. And he's talking, yeah, this is what you get for work. And I'm like, but it takes time to get to that point, right? So I think this is, caller, you on the air with Joaquin Thompson. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Chris.
Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
I'm getting ready to, I'll bring you on. Just give me one quick second. I want to share with the audience how God is just really working in the midst of things. So last week, this time, did the show, got home. My wife had sent me a video saying, basically, hey, check out this brother. He's talking about the same topic that you was talking about tonight, but he's talking about it in more detail. And I was like, so the next day, Friday, I'm listening to the video. I'm like, wow, that's some good stuff. I said, let me take down his information, reach out to him, and see if I can get him to come onto my show, because I was listening to him on another podcast. So I said, yeah. I said, if I don't do it Friday, I'm going to definitely do it on Monday. So Monday rolls around. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this first thing. So I draft my email, say, hey, send it to info at, his email. Sent the email off, and then I get a call back. So my phone ringing, I answer the phone like, hello? Then I hear somebody laughing like, hey man, what's going on? I was like, hey, what's happening? Then we get to talking. Come to find out, the guy that I'm reaching out to from the podcast is my is my good friend from Duval and my frat brother.
Wow.
Just crazy. I mean, just to show you that it's a reason. Even though when people say, "Well, it's not this or it's that," it's a reason why these type of things are happening. But none of this would be happening if I didn't take that first step and do that first episode, because he wouldn't even bring these type of people into the midst of us. So, with that being said, Chris, I want to welcome you to the Daily Bread Radio Show. Of course, we go way a long way back, man. Like 30 something. That sounds crazy in itself, right? 30 something years ago. But why don't you go ahead and take some time out and introduce yourself to the Daily Bread audience before we jump into the interview.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Holt. That's Joaquin said. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Grew up in Jacksonville. Actually living now in Orlando, Florida. Spending about 20 years here now in Orlando. Myself, I came upon this infinite banking concept. It was something that I grew into, as you could say. Because I've been working with financial services in one form or another since 1992. I've been with the John Hancocks. I've worked in the bank. I've done the mortgage side of it. I've dealt with all different aspects of financial services you think of, until I was introduced to an organization that taught you the inner workings of a banking system and what that was really all about. How it was kind of introduced to me was a question that was presented to me, and I'm going to ask this to you, Joaquin, and your audience, is, are you 100% sure that you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubt? Well, most people I talk to, they say, yeah, I got a little doubt. They're not real sure.
Right.
They're not worried about they're worried about what the market's going to do tomorrow. Although it's doing well now, you better know that these times will not always last. So you got to have something in place for that. When things aren't going as well in terms of the market and how your finances or what kind of interest you're getting on your investments and things like that. So the second question that was asked me was, what if I could show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without you spending any more than you're spending right now? Now that was huge.
What?
Very serious, very serious. Now, you're talking about a situation here where I'm just not getting into a mortgage, and I'm trying to learn more about this infinite banking thing at the time, and they're asking these type questions. I'm like, what? How's it gonna do all that?
you thinking like me. I'm like, where they do that at?
Exactly.
How we gonna do that?
So I have to understand that this is a concept. It's a concept that has been around for over 200 plus years. Just to give you some examples, Walt Disney used this concept to finance Disney World. Doris Christopher started Pampered Chef with this concept, borrowing $3,000 from her banking system. James C. Penney used his banking concept to keep J.C. Penney's afloat during the Depression. Ray Kroc used his banking concept to create McDonald's. So this is nothing new. It's just new to mainstream America. People like you and I who don't have millions of dollars that they're working with, or billions of dollars that they're working with. So what we've done with our organization, with my company, I'm working with a group called Your Family Bank. My company's First Financial Education Centers of Orlando. This concept, again, was taught through me through Your Family Bank. So we call it Your Family Bank. I was talking to somebody and said, well, hey, have you heard of Your Family Bank? Have you set Your Family Bank up? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? So when I break this down to them and get them to understand, this is about educating you on a system that is going to teach you one, the difference between accumulation and versus utilization, because that's very important to understand. We'll go through that here in just a minute. But also understanding the differences between compound interest versus amortized interest. Now, it's a lot easier to have this written down in front of you, but I'm going to try to explain this to you to where you can kind of grab hold of this concept. So the first thing you need to understand about a banking system or understanding infinite banking itself, you have to understand how do banks make money. Okay? So when you think of a bank, you say, okay, I got my money in a bank. Hopefully you do. Have some money in a bank. But what's actually happening is when you put money in the bank is actually borrowing your money. Because they're paying you an interest on that money that you put in their bank, most of the time. Well, sometimes. You might be getting less than 1%, or maybe even 1% in some cases, but they're actually borrowing your money. And then they turn around and they loan that money out to other people who are borrowing it from them, but they charge a higher interest for that money. Basically, let's say they paid you 1%, and they turned around and loaned it out for 6%. That difference between the 1 and 6% is 5%, right?
Right.
But when you think about that, it's actually 500% to the bank.
Right.
Because they just turned over that 1% that they were paying out 5 times. That's a 500% return to the bank.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa,
Okay?
whoa.
So what?
Wait a minute, Chris. We got a couple people. We got a couple people laying. They falling out on the floor because when you start talking about making interest on money, I mean, we used to hearing 10%. You know, even if you really doing it, you get like 30%. You might be getting 40%. But when you say 500%, that should get everybody's attention.
It's just numbers. They're paying you 1%, less than 1%. Are they not getting at least 6%?
Exactly.
Car loan, 20-something percent.
And sometimes they get like 1,200 because they charging 10 and 12%.
Exactly. So banks they're killing this game, and that wealthy individuals have known this for a very long time. As I just stated, these individuals that created these very large companies, they've known this for a very long time. This is how they operate. They understand the difference between compound interest and amortized interest. So when you start talking about compound versus amortized, if you had a piece of paper right now, if you're listening here, draw a straight line across your piece of paper. That's your zero line. Call it the $0 line. Okay? Now what I want you to do is draw like a staircase coming from the top of that line going up. You're taking steps going up. Okay? That is you saving money. Okay? That's when people say, well, I want to pay cash for these items. So that staircase going above the zero line is you saving that money so that you can one day pay cash for something, whatever that might be. Now, when you decide that you want to pay cash for that item, now draw a straight line going right back down to the zero line. Back at zero.
Right.
Okay? What you've just done is you have given that money away so that you cannot have, you have what's called a lost opportunity cost to earn compound interest on that money. You were saving it, now you just gave it away so you can pay for this item. Okay?
Right.
The other side of that is below that line. If you drew a straight line down, so when you take a loan, when you borrow something, now you're in a deficit situation, and you amortize payments to the lender to get back to that zero line. So you draw a staircase going back up to that zero line. Okay? So this is where people get themselves in trouble, is that they feel like, okay, well, if I don't amortize or if I don't borrow money, I'm going to save my money and then go pay for that item out of the money that I just saved. What they don't realize is what they've just done is they're taking that money that they could have put into a compound interest situation for themselves, such as this banking model, and now they've lost opportunities to earn any money on that situation. Because their mindset is, I'm going to pay cash for it. Now, it's not to say that amortizing is any better.
Right.
But what I am telling you is when you have that zero line, the way a banking model works is the more you use it to amortize items out of your own banking system, creating that spread that I just talked about for you, that banks are creating for themselves between that 1% and 6%, that 5% spread, that's actually 500% return for yourself in that situation. The more you use it, your line actually gets so far away from the zero line that your amortization period that was once below the line, everything is now above the zero line. Draw this out for you.
I know. Look, I got some posters up that we just put up, and I'm like, I'm tempted to write.
Everything is now, instead of the amortization piece being below the zero line, you're working yourself back to zero.
Right.
Now, when you amortize off of the money that you built in your banking system, because you're using it over and over again, you're now, all this is happening above the zero line. You never have to worry about rebuilding it back from the zero line.
Whoa. Whoa. So let me.
That's what these banking systems do for you.
Whew, wait a minute. I mean, wait a minute. Because this right here is getting deep. Like quick. I thought we were gonna ease into it. We didn't jump in the deep end. Because basically what we're saying is if you never go below the zero line, then you're never in a deficit.
You're never in a deficit.
Whoa.
When you understand how to use these systems, you're never in a deficit.
So basically what we're saying is the bank is never in a deficit.
Banks are never in a deficit.
And the banks are making just a quick recap. Just so we all are on the same page. So the banks are doing 500%, 600%, 700%, and we happy with getting 2%. No, not 2%, less than 1%. Right? And this kind of brings me back to the first question that you asked, and that's why I've been stressing to my audience to just tune in and listen to this concept that you're sharing with us, because if you start to think about, and I had this conversation with a really, really close friend of mine last night. If you think about the money that we're so-called putting away into these different models, 401ks and things of that nature, IRAs and Robs and all this stuff. If at any point, if we're really operating below that zero line, and looking at the future, so now you working, not only you working below the zero line, but you talking about future state. And if you don't know where you're gonna be at future state, you could be so far down that you could never draw. You'll run out of time to draw a stair step to get back to zero.
Right.
Is that fair?
Exactly. That's the stair step gets so deep below that zero line that it's virtually impossible for you to ever get back. So people wonder, I got these 401ks, I got my IRA, your 403B money that your boss is putting that aside for you, gave you you feel like it's a little bump in your check.
Right, a little match.
It would be a little match. What you really don't understand is happening in that situation is that when in an IRA or any government type of a program, those plans are set up so that you are basically borrowing money from the government in order to pay it back to them at a later time. That's all you're doing. There's an example I use in my presentation. And I'm going to give you guys a website. You can go to see this presentation. I'm going to give it to you now so I forget about it. ysbinfo.com.
Y as in you?
Y as in your family bank. ysbinfo.com. It's a presentation that I did there for a group. I have it out there on YouTube. There's a portion in there that I talk about government plans and how they actually work. And I break that down from an individual that put in $5,000 into their IRA, was at age 45, okay? And over the period of time up until age 65, they accumulated $40,000 in that IRA. And in the example I use, it's like a 10% rate of return. So each year their money was doubling. Every 7.2 years their money was doubling. By the time they got to like age 66, they had about $40,000 in their IRA or in their 401k. Excuse me. Now the tax bracket on that money, and I think in the example it was 20% tax bracket. What do you usually get when you put money into IRAs, 401ks? What is the big thing? What's actually in your check? Where is that coming from? Well, if you don't know, that is the tax deferred money.
Right.
The deferral of the taxes, so they basically that's the difference that you're seeing in your check, is the money that's tax deferred that's in your check if you're doing 401k. If
Right.
you're putting it into IRAs, then you just get that tax deferral off of your taxes for that year that you're putting the money into it.
Correct.
The tax deferral is the exact amount of taxes that you're going to pay. So in this case, it was 20% tax on $5,000 for the first year. You're talking about $1,000 tax. $1,000 tax
Right.
on that first year. If you were earning, well, let's say this first. What do most people usually do when they get that deferral? What do they do with that money?
Spend.
Exactly. They spend it. But
I mean, because we don't have a plan for it, so we just like, oh, okay.
right, it's just spend. You just
Right, just spend.
Hey, it's the next money because I'm doing a great thing. It is a good thing. You're doing something else. It's better than nothing.
And just to be clear on that one, Chris, you just saying when they get that 20% tax break and it comes back when they file their taxes and it comes, okay, you got $1,000, back.
Right.
That's the offset from you having that difference. You getting that 20% tax break. So when it comes back, when that $1,000 comes back, what we burning that?
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
We ain't reinvesting.
Burning that money.
Oh, we burning that.
But in this example on the website I just gave you, I talked about saying, okay, let's say you put the money back into that same investment that the money was initially in that was earning 10%, although nobody does that. Let's say you did that, okay? That money, that $1,000 over that same period of time is going to grow to $8,000 just through Rule of 72.
Right.
Okay? When you are ready to retire, in this example, when this person was ready to retire, what did I say they had $40,000 in that account?
Correct.
They had $8,000 that was deferred over that period of time. What is the taxes on $40,000 in a 20% tax bracket? Because it's 100% taxable now, right?
Right.
What is the taxes at 20% on a $40,000 account? I'll help you out. It's $8,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just gave the answer. I was like, I would love to be in your class. I was like, ooh, I'm getting an 8. No, my producer was looking like he was over there scratching his head. I'm like, all right, he just gave us the answer, 8.
$8,000. How much did I say you had deferral for that you've already spent?
8.
8,000.
$8,000.
Right.
Where is the tax savings in an IRA or 401k?
Wow.
There are none.
Wow.
Tax deferral was not designed for you. It was designed for the government to have a guaranteed flow of income from individuals who put their money in there. That's what it's designed for.
Man, we gotta be careful. I don't know if we I'm starting to feel like I'm like, man, wait a minute, we looking out the window like, hey, them people out there, man. Man, I don't know. I don't know if they want us to know this.
Exactly.
This sounds like a Rubik's Cube type of answer, right? Like,
It's just math.
man, no, it's
It's not math.
but I'm saying but it's to me it's deeper than that, Chris, because what you're saying now is if you think about it, like I said, I was just having this conversation with a very close friend of mine last night. It's like the way they set it up was like years ago they used to have pensions, And that's when the companies would be paying into your retirement, and then when you retire, you would have a pension, right? But then they came and they said, well, yeah.
I'm finding a pension now, unless you work for civil service.
Right. But then they switched it up and said, well, hey, we're not gonna do the pension, but we're gonna give you a 401k, and we're gonna put this max, and you need to make sure that you maxing out your 401k, because that's gonna help you in retirement. But all along, they knew this secret that you sharing with us tonight, like what's being deferred is actually gonna be added on for the most part when you're ready to use the money.
That and more when it comes to for you to take that money out. And they're going to get it because at 70 and a half, you're mandated to take it out.
Wow.
Meaning you have to take it out.
You have to take it out.
'Cause he
Somebody's
said-
going to pay those taxes. Even when you die, your children are going to pay those taxes. Somebody is going to pay those taxes.
I didn't use this term, but that
You know what it is?
this sounded like
Debo.
yeah, it sounded like I'm gonna say Debo. It sounded like Debo because he
Let's say
said, I don't know who gonna pay him,
Yeah.
but one of y'all gonna pay him. Even if it's gonna be you
What you got on my phone?
or your kid, but somebody gonna pay this money.
What you got on my phone?
Absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
that is deep. That's deep, man.
So what we try to teach people is you need to know the difference between an accumulation mindset versus a utilization mindset. So if you think of accumulation mindset, it's just like the Dead Sea. There's no life, there's no flow, there's nothing happening, there's no motion. Dead Sea, dead. Okay? This entails setting money aside in an investment vehicle and hoping that it grows enough so that one day you can retire in the future. That's an accumulation mindset. Versus a utilization mindset, which is like the Amazon River. It's a huge flowing body of water, full of life. Civilizations were built around it because of the richness of the moving, flowing water. See, utilization allows you to both prepare for the future and live wealthier today. And that is what banking systems are all about. When you can understand the difference of those two concepts, you can create wealth in any amount of income. When I heard you earlier about saying, well, how much does it cost?
Right, that was one of my questions. Like,
Do I have the money in terms of creating these types of plans?
right. Because I know we got some young people that's listening, like my kids, they 25, 26, but they got jobs, they working, they've heard me talk. So share, and I know in the audience, that's one of the things, some of the feedback that I get a lot of times, like, well, man, I only make X number of dollars, I don't know. So what's the minimum amount that you could get started with putting one of these systems in place?
Start with these types of programs with as little as, I would say, to set it up structurally correct, you need to be right at $200 a month to put into these types of plans. Now, you can go lower than that.
Right.
If your situation is where I can't afford $200 a month. Well, first thing we try to do when we're sitting down with you is we try to find this money that you're not being most efficient with. We look at your debt situation, look at if you're putting money into savings vehicles, that we can be more efficient with it with the banking system. We're going to try to redirect some things so that we're trying to do this so that you don't have any cost putting money into it. It's just adjusting what you're already doing.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, and if you're not in that situation, let's say you can only do $50, $100 a month into something like this. Well, we can still do something for you, but our goal will be to build you up to where you will operate as a banking system. Because the banking concept of it, there's a threshold there at that 200, that's probably the minimum that we would say you actually have a banking policy. But we still work with you with less money if you're in that situation to build you to it, to where you can get there. So don't think that you will be left out. You're not. There's a number of things that we can do for you to get you going if you're in that situation.
Now, not to cut you off, Chris, but one of the things that we talk about too, just staying in that same line of thinking is, things like cable TV, right? A lot of people, the average bill right now, people paying $150, $175, $125 for just cable, right?
Yeah.
So you could cut the cable, so that's $125, and then you cut, and then you, Yeah, but I
have
mean,
my power.
yeah, you gotta have your power, but the thing about it is 10 years from now, the people on power that made their money and you just paid into the system where you could pull a cable. Not saying you got to pull it for 10 years, but at least redirect that money to get it set up and get it going. And then, like you said,
Yeah.
you utilize what you have and just analyze it
Right.
and redirect those funds to set up the
Yeah.
system. Now, the other question I have for the audience is this, because we've been talking about, and I don't want to jump ahead, so,
Okay.
because I want this to be comprehensive.
Mhm.
We've been talking about a banking system, right? And setting up
Yeah.
a banking system. But, you know, can you share with us, when you say set up a banking system, do you really mean
Yeah.
like having our system set up where we operate just like a bank?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You can put money in.
You put money in the bank
Other people can.
and you write checks out of the bank to go pay your bills, and you go make some more money and you put money right back in the bank. That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm trying to get you to understand is when you understand the utilization and you understand how is that bank making money off me,
Right.
and then you can set yourself up the exact same way.
You making money off your own money.
That's what these systems allow you to do.
Wow.
And if by chance you happen to get ill, chronically ill, terminally ill, well, then now you have hundreds of thousands of dollars that were set up in this plan, that's part of it, that will be paid out to you because you're in that situation. Just because you're using this situation, and the more you use, that number is getting bigger and bigger. So God forbid you pass, now you set up a legacy for your family. Because when you start this, the number 5, 10 years from now will be much bigger than the number it is when you started. So the more you use it, the bigger that number gets.
The more money you put in.
Man, so let me ask another question. So we got this one, so we got our 200, we doing our 200, and we gradually move up. Okay, as years pass and we, you know, get a little raise here or we find some more money.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible? Because when you say we the bank, so now I'm thinking like the bank thinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing good in one bank, then the business model is once one business becomes profitable, what do? You open another. So are you saying that we can open up a second branch?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. The way these systems are set up, there are certain limitations set in by the IRS. The section 7702. It's an IRS section that governs these types of programs. No, the vehicle that we're using, which is life insurance. There's no secret here. Just using life insurance for it. So we don't want to go above that limitation. But the companies that we use, they understand these types of banking systems. They know what we're doing with it.
Right.
So the thing here is that once you reach that threshold, because you are going to reach that threshold if you're doing this the way we're teaching you how to do it. Your policy is going to get to a point where it maxes out, where you can't put any more money into it. But if you're understanding that this is your bank, you think of the business owner of this bank is now saying, hey, I need to stay in business, so I can't use this bank anymore. This bank is taking all the customers it can take. So what do banks do when that happens? They go open up another one.
Bank. Yeah.
So you're going to open up another one. so you can now increase your availability or utilization of the money that you're growing. So you can grow more.
So you can grow some more money.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's what wealthy people do.
Boy. See, now, man, listen. I'm lost for words, right? Because in your intro, you said this is something that's been around for over 200 years, right?
Yeah.
So if that's been around for over 200 years, guess what? People been using it, and we had no idea. And that's why when we talk about what's possible, it's things out there that people are doing right now. We have no idea that it even exists.
Mm-hmm.
And while we was out buying Cadillacs and Lincolns and going on trips and buying shoes, these cats was over here
Making
like
money.
opening up personal banks with money. They weren't wealthy all the time, but they started doing it a little bit, 100 and 200 and 3, and then before you know it, you're doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000,
Absolutely.
and it's your money.
And see, this is the thing you're missing. It's not that they weren't buying them too. They just knew how to buy them.
Ooh, cause you got to be nice, bro. You can't listen, man, you can't give wood on the air, man. Hazing is against, that's a federal law. So you can't haze and give wood in public, man. That's a no-no. You said they doing it too, but they just know. So, okay, so staying in that same vein, give me an example of, okay, I got this banking system. I've been, putting my money in, working it for a while. Give me an example of something that I could buy, like a car or a boat or a jet ski. And what would be the difference in me paying cash for it or getting it financed versus me utilizing my banking system?
Okay. Let's take the car. It's the easiest. Most people get that. $20,000 car, just to throw a number out. And let's say you built your banking system up to $30,000. You want this car, okay? I wholeheartedly would recommend you use your banking system for it rather than you go to the bank or to the finance company and finance it through them. Why is that? With your banking system, it allows you to be able to use that money, that $20,000 to pay for that car, and still earn interest on the $20,000 that you just used from your banking system. Now, get that now.
Time out, man. Time out, Chris. Time out. Wait a minute. Because we taking notes, and I want to make sure the audience is getting it. So you saying, just so I'm clear,
You need to get this.
you're saying I could go to my banking policy,
Yes.
withdraw $20,000.
You are not withdrawing it. You are taking it in the form of a loan.
Okay, I'm taking it in the form of a loan, right?
From the depositors. In the banking system, you are the depositor, you are the lender, and you're also the borrower. You are all three in this system.
So okay, you taking it out. I'm removing it in layman's terms, right? I'm taking a loan, right?
Against your banking system.
And once I take the loan, so you saying on that same 20,000, I'm still going to be getting
You're going
interest
to
in
pay
it?
yourself back, and you're still earning interest on that money because you're not actually taking it from your cash. You are borrowing money from the company that is holding that for you.
So like the general account, right?
It's like, right, from the general fund of that insurance company. That is what you're doing. You're borrowing that money, using your cash as collateral, right? You're using your death benefit as collateral, but it doesn't come off your cash, okay? Your $20,000 that you had in your cash value of that account is still earning interest even though you're using it
Wow.
to buy this car, okay? Now, we're not gonna stop there. Because now you were the depositor when you deposited the money into the account to build it up to that point. You now became the borrower because you borrowed it now against your banking system. But then I said, now you are also the lender. The lender needs to get it back. This is the part that most people don't get. When you take that money or borrow that money from that system, you need to operate as though you are the owner of a bank. Owners of banks don't want to deal with people who don't pay them back.
Come on.
So pay your bank back with interest. And now what you have just done on your own, even though these policies have a guaranteed interest that they're going to give you, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about you understanding how to use it as a banking system and create your own spread. The spread that I said the banks are earning 500% interest on, you can create that just by using it. Go buy the car, but pay yourself back.
Boy, it's getting hot in this studio. This studio, man. When I say it's on fire, this studio is on fire, man. This has been, I told you, after that Wally Amos interview, like we done went into another dimension.
And hold the platform.
It's like Star Trek, man. Like we done got beamed up.
Look at that.
And look at this, man. We got this. We got that.
What about the middle now?
Oh, we got this too. We got this too. Man, just thinking of that is just, that's crazy. So, and that could be at any level. So we said 20,000. You could do it with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Yes, exactly.
So then you'll get to the point where you just literally are cutting out giving money to other institutions for any reason, because you got it yourself.
Absolutely. You creating your own private banking system
Would you repo
where
your own
you
company?
are the borrower, you are the lender, and you are the depositor.
No, you gonna pay that money back. My producer, man, we ain't doing no, you're not gonna repo the car from yourself. You gonna pay yourself back. I mean, this is a progressive show, man. We not doing that.
Here's what happens if you decide you don't want to pay that back. One day when it's time for you to go home and the Lord has called your name, when you died, there's going to be a death benefit paid out to your family. The insurance company at that time is going to say, well, hey, you took this loan against the policy that you didn't pay back. This is the amount that was still left overdue on it or outstanding on it. It's not overdue. We're going to take that from your death benefit. That's where the money comes out of if you decide you don't want to pay it back.
Wow.
Chris, are you?
There you go. See, that's a good
So
question.
you saying, look, man, no repo. So you ain't got to be jumping up if you hear something in the middle of the night.
The car
That's a
is
good
bought.
question.
The car is bought. It's you. That's you.
Mm-hmm.
Your car. It's on you.
Oh, Chris, you killing them, man. You are killing.
Oh, he done did. Oh.
Look, man, my producer laying down on the floor, man. He trying to do some push-ups. Man, you killing them.
This works, man.
Man, and like the conversation you and I was having just briefly when I realized you was the guest on the pod. Man, just think if a million people that we knew and loved had this in place, right? You got 100,000 in yours. I got 50 in mine. You know, my wife got 25 in hers. My kids got 35 in theirs. We'll get to a point where it's like, you really unstoppable. Oh, you want to buy a Subway? Like, oh, I got the money. You know, and you ain't got to ask nobody. You ain't got to worry about no credit. You ain't got to ask nobody nothing. That's power.
What you are describing is already in place with our people. It's already in place. It's just our people don't know about it yet. It's already here.
Man, we gon'
So you come to the door with $200.
he said that 3 times, bro. You could start it with $200. And that's what I'm saying. If you say, I mean, and people might say, man, I don't have $200. You got $200, right? Because if you think about it, even in a year's period, so $200 a month is only $2,400 a year.
Yeah.
So you might say, I don't have $2,400. Okay, the trip, because everybody, I don't care how much you make, everybody took the trip. You got the trip, you got the travel, like, oh, I shot down to see my family, I did this, that, and the other. You got the inconvenience, oh man, my transmission went out, or this, that, and the other. You got the blow money, oh yeah, man, we're gonna go out to dinner and celebrate, we're gonna do this, that, and the other. If you took all of, just to eat now, if you took out all the time that you went out to a restaurant for 1 year, and redirected that money into this policy just for the first year to get it going.
Just to get it going.
Just what? At the end of that year, if I'm hearing you right, Chris, at the end of that year, you already have some money that you can borrow
Yeah.
Absolutely.
to get rid of and eliminate some other debt that you already got. So that's win-win. And then over time, you say this is just gonna keep growing. It ain't gonna stop.
Absolutely. So we show people with debt how they can actually use that debt to create wealth for themselves. Because when I talk about the deposits and the withdrawals and utilization and taking a loan against and putting the money back in, when you have debt, we put a system together for you that's going to show you how to systematically pay off that debt. And as you're paying off that debt, let me slow down. Let me break this down for you. Let's say you have a credit card. This credit card has $1,000 on it. And then you have this other credit card That credit card's got $5,000 on it. And then you got this car. That car you still owe about $20,000 on it. And then you have this house. And this house you owe about $150,000, $200,000 on that. What we'll do for you is show you how you can systematically use your banking system with money that you are already spending out right now. Get that. Our first goal is to do this with money you're already using. We're not trying to have you put out additional money.
Wow.
Most people don't have additional money to do anything with. We just want to show you how to be more efficient. But let me go back to this example. You start building in your banking system, and you've got enough in there now to pay off that first $1,000 debt. Okay? What you do is you take the loan against your policy to pay off the debt. Now, let's say this debt had a credit card that probably got 10, 20%, 14% interest on it.
Easy.
You're going to take that monthly payment the minimum monthly payment that you were paying into that credit card, you just paid it off, but now what you're going to do is take that monthly payment and put that back in your banking system. Virtually recapturing the interest that you were paying out to that lender for that credit card. And you're just going to keep repeating this process until all the debts are paid off, including the mortgage. So now, when I talk about utilization, it doesn't mean you have to come up with something to use it for. Most people got some debt.
Right.
For that.
Right.
That's the first thing. That is going to build your banking system. Because when I talked about that spread earlier,
Right.
what was the interest I said was on the credit card? 14, 20,
Yeah, 14.
10, whatever it is,
Mhm.
okay? The company is looking for an interest rate for you for the privilege of borrowing that money from the company. They're also paying in an interest to that money. So last I looked at it, it was 4.79% that you have to pay for the privilege of borrowing this money from your banking system that you're paying back to the company. But they're still paying you 4% guaranteed on the policy. So if you look at that, without even breaking down the difference of it, it's about 0.79% is your difference.
Right.
But without even using that, let's not even use that. Let's just say 4.79%. Okay. You just paid off a debt that was paying interest into it of 10, 20% plus.
Right.
And now you're going to take that same monthly payment, instead of paying it to that lender, you're going to pay it back to yourself. So now, here's that spread that I was talking about that the banks create. You created now. You owe 4%. You still have 4 coming in from the company itself. Now you've got this additional amount of money that you're overpaying back into your policy more than what they're expecting. You have just created the spread that I was talking about. So when people ask me, well, what is the interest that I'm earning? Well, that all depends on how much you use it.
I can't take it. I can't take it, man. I can't take it. I'm sitting there taking notes, man, like I'm about to take a nursing boards. I'm like, and that was the first thing I said, oh, you got the spread right there. Because you got the 4.7, and they giving you 4, but you just eliminated 14%. So now you put the 14, you put the 14%, so now your spread,
Back in your pocket.
so you 300%.
That's your spread.
You 300%, because that's the difference of like 9%. 5 and 14 is 9, right? So I'm like, okay. So how many times can 5 go in and 14?
I have shown this to clients who were wiping out house notes, car loans, student loans, you name it, any kind of thing you're paying interest to them, wiping that out in 7 years. I have seen it as low as 4 years. You think of that person who just freed up thousands of dollars in 4 to 9 years. Thousands of dollars monthly they were paying out, totally gone, totally back in their pockets, that they don't have to go pay out anymore monthly. How
And
does
man,
that person feel?
no, I mean, but just to take it a step further, how does that person feel? And they already, and they're into retirement, or going into that retirement range,
Right.
right? So you say, well, hey, I got money going, and I'm making money, and I haven't paid off all my debt. And if I want to go buy another car, I can go buy whatever I want to buy because I bought out of my system.
Here's the caveat for the retiree. You've done this since you were younger, and you were taught this because you listened to this show and you took action. So that now when you are 65 or whatever age you feel that you want ready to retire, you have developed this huge pot of money that you can use for retirement. Every dollar of it comes out to you tax-free.
I told y'all, but it's the best show on radio. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to the broadcast. This is the best show on radio. Period. Who else doing this, man? Who else doing this? Man.
Hold on.
What?
There is nothing like
Lord, this is Wally.
Oh, wait a minute.
You are listening to the Daily Bread Radio. It's the best.
Tell who that was.
Hey, man, Chris, that was Wally Amos right there.
Oh.
That was Wally Amos, man. Hey, I mean, first of all, I gotta have you come back on, man. We gotta do a whole nother.
Oh, absolutely.
I think what we need to do, and I'm not gonna, I can't force your hand because we could talk about it off air. But this is what I would like to do. You give it some thought. You tell me if it'll work or not.
Sure.
I would love to do and sponsor a WebEx, right?
Okay.
Because I know, like you've been mentioning, like you have the documents, you have the,
Yeah.
the PowerPoint deck already prepared. I
Yeah.
would love to do a WebEx for those that want to be enlightened even further. Set up a date and a time that fits your schedule, and like I said, me and you can talk about it offline, and then enlighten people a little bit more. Do you think that that's something that's possible?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do I'm sorry, man. I can't. It feel like Christmas, man. I'm like, this is crazy, man. Is this crazy?
I told you.
Is this crazy? And we ain't even touch on businesses.
Look here. You were sitting out there, I said, come on, man.
Huh?
You were just sitting out there before you got started. I
No, we
said, come on,
didn't.
man.
I'm telling you, business is great. Oh my God, what
This ain't it.
business can do is absolutely amazing when they understand
Tell
how
them all
to
to get
create
started.
these systems.
Tell them all to get
You're
started.
talking about being able to increase their cash flow simply by creating their own banking system. Because they build it enough to where the banking system will pay for the expenses of the business. The banking system does, not your flow of income from your proceeds. It gets to the point where the banking system is enough in there to take care of your expenses in the business. So by doing that, you've just increased your cash flow.
Oh my God, Chris, you're doing too much, man. You're doing too much. Hey, man, I done did a lot of research. I done talked about. Man, this is. Man, okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. And like I said, I'm gonna definitely reach out to you offline, see what works for your schedule. I know we're on a holiday weekend, what have you, but we're gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there in the atmosphere. We're gonna put that together for September. We're gonna set up a date and a time that works for your schedule, and we're not gonna limit on the time. So I'm gonna put it out to my audience. If you want to join, I'll send it out and reach out to my network and let people know what we're doing and have them tune in from, their computers or what have you. And then we're just gonna go through the presentation and I'm gonna just, and you're gonna just let it rip, and,
Sure.
and don't hold back. We can talk about business, we can talk about the 200. So with that being said, where can people that wanna reach out to you, where can they find you at?
Sure. You can, I can be emailed at info@ffecorlando.com, info at First Financial Education Center Orlando.com, so ffecorlando.com. My phone number, you can give me a call at 407-810-0103. My website is ffecorlando.com.
Orlando.com.
Facebook. I'm all over, y'all. You can hit me if you want me.
I think we'll get him on the morning glow.
Hey, my producer want to know, would it be possible for you to come on, because he has a show that he does every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Would it be possible to have you as a guest on that show?
Sure.
Okay. So the only thing you got to do is,
Sure.
see, I'm blessing you, man.
Look at it,
Look at you. Look at you, man. Look at this, man. Got both of them. Hey, Chris, I want to definitely thank you, man. Like I said, I'm going to reach out to you offline because
Okay.
I'm definitely want to set that up. And I'm going to bring you back on in September as well so that way we can continue the conversation for those, you know, individuals that might have missed a day or don't get to rebroadcast. Because I think it's something that's important enough. If we can get enough people
Yeah.
moving in that direction, then like me and you talked about our what, then we've done our part because now we're educating and getting them to move in that space and we're helping some people. So I definitely appreciate that.
Great, great.
All right, man, I appreciate you. Have a good evening and I'll reach back out to you
You
soon.
too.
Okay,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Wow. 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 That's like
Now, what's that?
drop the mic.
Man, okay, I'm doing it there, bro.
Drop. You doing it.
I'm doing it there.
Listen, man, listen. This, I had to wait for Chris to get off the.
Yeah.
I mean, just housekeeping, right?
Mhm.
This, you know what this is like? This is like somebody saying, you know what? I'm getting ready to give you the answer to one of the secrets in life, right? Like we all have things that happen in life. We all go through this. But if somebody walked up to you and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you the secret to whatever X. Like I'm gonna give you the secret to being healthy. I'm gonna give you the secret, not the stuff that you hear and I eat this,
Yeah.
but if somebody say, hey, no, I'm gonna give you the secret that's been tried and true. And if you hear that information and this is what I want you all, see, once you hear something and been exposed to it, there is no excuse. You even in your being, if this comes up 10 years from now, and somebody's like, hey man, Ryan, did you know something? You can't say, no, I didn't know. Or I've never heard of nothing like that. Or there is no such a thing. So once you've heard it and you've had exposure to it,
Yeah.
it's your duty
Just step up.
to step up and take the action. I mean, and the crazy part is this, because me and Chris was talking about this all the time. Here go the craziest part. Out of everything that he said already, you know what?
What's that?
He didn't even share with you the best part of this system.
What is it?
I ain't gonna tell you.
Well,
You gonna have to tune in because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
With that system, the first thing the first step in that system is you have to change the way that you think about money and insurance. And I'm gonna give you a little insight on it, right? Humblear, because that's where we live and reside in Humblear. But think about it this way. All of this is being worked through an insurance policy, right? But why do you buy insurance? Life insurance specifically. Why do you buy life insurance?
When you die.
See, you buy it because most people don't realize this. When you buy a life insurance policy, there's a part of your policy is called a death benefit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows about that because you just said it. Like you buy life insurance for what?
We die.
For when you die.
Yeah.
But check this out. When you read through a life insurance policy, there's a segment in it that says what? Life benefit. Life, L-I-F-E.
When you live.
Benefit.
When you living.
Why you living? Why you living? And so you're not trying to buy as much life insurance to have so when you pass, that would be good. What you're trying to do in this scenario is you're trying to flip that paradigm and buy as little
Come on.
insurance, as little life insurance as you can buy with the most amount of cash that you can accumulate in it.
Okay.
Because as you accumulate money in it, guess what? Them credit cards, you won't even need a credit card.
Don't need them.
Anything that you need that you're spending money for right now, you could buy out your own banking system. When I say anything,
Get a loan from yourself.
you can get a loan from yourself, you can pay for tuition from yourself, you can put your kids through private school yourself, you can invest in a business yourself. check this out. What if you took the money out, just to show you how, that's why I say it's more to this story.
Mhm.
What if you took the money out of that and you brought some stock, and then the stock doubled?
Mm.
What, I mean, what if you took that and brought a franchise,
Mhm.
and now your franchise is being profitable, it's throwing off money,
Whole house.
and you don't owe nobody
Mhm.
but yourself, right? And then he said, what if you get to the point, like, man, I don't want to pay myself back. Myself been acting up. I don't even like myself like that. I'm not even gonna pay myself back. Guess what happens?
Mhm.
When you get called home,
You know what Fred Sample was gonna invest in?
what?
You know what Fred Sample was gonna invest in?
Oh no, I remember that show, man. Don't throw me off, man. Fred could have had this.
Yeah. Fuck
But if you get to a point where you don't even want to pay yourself back, because you
Mhm.
like, I ain't paying
Too
myself
cheap to pay
back.
yourself.
Guess what? When you pass away,
Mhm.
they'll take that little loan that you took out,
Mhm.
that 20, 30, 40, whatever it was, right? They'll just take that off. Your death benefit might be $500,000.
Yeah.
And they'll take that 50 off and still give 450 to your family.
Man, I'm gonna play your music, man.
Man, you didn't, I think some of the stuff that he was saying kind of went over. He said if you get terminally ill or chronically ill, you don't even have to be terminal.
Mhm.
They have a policy in place. It's a clause in your policy that says if you develop a chronic condition,
Mhm.
do you realize they have a percentage of that death benefit that they will pay to you immediately?
Mm.
That's like if you end up in a nursing home, guess what? You got some money to cover you.
Yeah.
Right? If your kid's like, no, you can't stay here with all that, I ain't with all that wiping and swiping and Guess what? Now you got some money. You taken care of. But
Yeah.
the thing I'm saying is this: we have to take action.
Mhm.
Chris is giving you the info. He's giving you all of his info.
That was powerful, bro. I'm gonna play your exit music, man.
Huh?
I'm gonna play your exit music.
Waiting on my air conditioner.
I said I'm gonna play your exit music.
Oh man, go. You can play my. Hey,
You gotta go home, man.
no, you can ready to go home, man. Let me do the book of the week. Book of the week.
I got that book.
You got to read it though. You can't just have it. Here's the book of the week. This is the first one. Becoming Your Own Banker
Mhm.
by R. Nelson Nash. That's book number 1. Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. Very easy read. The book is only 80 pages.
Mm-mm.
80.
Let me see it.
Go ahead, man.
I'll
Write
bring
it
it back
down.
to you later.
Use it. The second book is called The Banker's Code by George Anton. A few more pages. 170, 175. That's not, it's Labor Day weekend. You could do that between tomorrow and Monday. You can knock this out. The Banker's Code is talking about the same thing, developing your own bank and you becoming your own bank.
Mhm.
That's the second book. And the third book is called The Bank on Yourself Revolution by Pamela Yellen. This is the third one in the trilogy. So if you read these 3 books and this third one, the thing I like about Pamela Yellen, this was a little deeper. It's probably 250 pages. But if you read these 3 books and get with an agent that knows what he's doing, like Chris, you can reach out to Chris. He can get you a policy set up ASAP.
Mhm.
ASAP. You get your policy, but you got to read the book and take the action. That's all you got to do. Read. And if you don't want to read the book, guess what you can do? You can just reach out to Chris, and Chris will tell you step by step what to do. Step by step, he'll tell you what to do.
Make sure you read it right there, man. I'm trying to
Make sure I
see.
read this. Okay.
Make sure.
So this is our public service announcement. Single Christians, go to DKM Radio, the Christian Dating tab, and register. Linking good people together. DKMradio.com. Click on the Christian Dating tab and register. So if you're a single Christian, so you're going to get in trouble. If you're a single Christian and you're looking for someone to date, or you're looking for to link up with some good people, reach out to DKMradio.com. Go to the second tab, register, and get linked up. The other thing that we want to talk about is we want to make sure that you vote.
Mhm.
We getting into that season. Make sure that you vote. 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 Because I know we got people all across the nation. Make sure that you vote. Because if you vote, things change.
Mhm.
If you vote, things change. If you don't vote, you have no say. You have no say. We was talking about that last night. The Republican brother down in Florida is doing his thing.
That's That's what happens if you don't vote.
right? Just,
That's
yeah,
what
you're gonna
happens.
be crying, right?
Yep.
So with that, just make sure that y'all stay tuned into the Daily Bread Radio Show, because we're gonna be doing this every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And tell a friend, this information that you just heard tonight, share it with somebody, because somebody could be out there waiting in your network. They're saying, I don't know about the show, I ain't never heard that like that. Shoot it out to all your friends, the people at church, people in your organization, sorority, fraternity, co-workers. Let people know there is a way, and we need to tune in. Chris's information, I'm gonna give his information out one more time before we get off the air. You can email him at info, I-N-F-O, at F as in Frank, EC.com. His phone number, office number is 407-810-0103. And his website is FF, as in Frank, EC, Orlando.com. Christopher Holt, good brother, and he's from where? Duval. And all that was right there all the time. So I appreciate everybody, joining the broadcast tonight. Thank you for all your help and support. We got the Daily Bread Radio Show posters up. We got Guerrilla Publishing. We got DKM Radio. So, hey, we can't do nothing but have something powerful. When you come together and have that synergy going, this is what it's about. It's about synergy.
Hold on. Well, you got, I told you to hold on. I knew something was going to happen.
What?
I knew something was about to happen.
Okay. This is Joaquin Thompson. You're on the Daily Bread Radio Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Well, I had to call in. This is Cornbread.
Not Cornbread!
I want to congratulate you on another fine and dynamic show. I want to get my jab in. Nice. Oh, get it in, baby.
Well,
I love you, my man. Love you, Joaquin.
Hey, love you, Corn.
I like the studio setup, man.
Hey, look, man. Hey, man, listen. I was just thinking about, you got to, hey, man, we got that yeet. Hey, we got that yeet. And the yeet.
Look, what about the milk?
I like that wide angle you got.
Yeah.
You got the billboard patterns going on. I like that, man.
Hey, man, every week we try to make it bigger and better.
Yeah.
Bigger and better. We got, it's not another show. This is the #1 show. Bar none, man. We done went into another dimension, man. Only thing missing is Captain Kirk. We done went through that dimension. Only thing we missing is Captain Kirk, man.
I can get a horn for you.
Hey, boy, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Did you check out the show tonight?
You
Did you check the show out?
I didn't hear now time.
What damn time? What? Man, hold on, man. I'm talking to Cornbread,
I didn't hear
man.
now time.
Why you gonna cut me off, man? I'm talking
Do I need to say
Cornbread.
it, man? Do I need to say it?
Tell take a side.
Where you from? Where you from? Where you from?
Where I'm from?
Where you from?
Where I'm from?
Where you from?
I'm from. Let me think.
Where you from, man?
I'm from Duval. That's where I'm from. Where they eat Steelers for breakfast. That's where I'm from. Where they eat Steelers for breakfast. It's coming, baby.
Cornbread.
It's coming. No more playtime. Preseason over after the night. Get all the play out the way.
Cornbread don't co-sign that foolishness.
Hey man, did you check out that show tonight?
Yo, I heard the show, man.
Man.
Look, they already asked me why I got rid of so much stuff. I've dumped a lot, so I'm gonna go on board with this. I've been dumping stuff for years. That's why I always got money in my pocket. I've seen the signs back in
Hey man.
years ago. I was trying to stay on that yacht, man.
Hey, that's power. Now when you start talking about
Yes, sir.
that's power, man.
Yes, sir.
That's power. I'm glad you had that. So definitely put that out to your network, because I know you definitely a mover and shaker tastemaker.
My network is listening, man. They on it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's what's
They say, yo, when you get this? That's family, man. What are you talking about? Everybody your cousin. It's real cousin.
Hey man.
It's cousin when you ain't got nothing.
Hey.
You got something to see your cousin. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Because we got that love and that bond, so that's all you need. Blood will do, but if you got that love and that bond, it'll always be there for you.
Well, tell Cornbread we gotta go.
Hey man, Raheem over here yawning, man. Let me cut it off, bro. He got the little last 20 minutes of overtime. If the Steelers was on, he'd be got there and piped up. But don't worry.
Oh, we winning.
Oh man, this dude over here bragging about they winning a preseason game, man. But you know what that's
Look
bad.
at
Man, that preseason game.
That don't mean that. You wait till you wait a week.
Gonna get cut anyway.
You wait the week after next when that week 1 when they get that beat down.
Now, we beat Cleveland the first game.
Y'all gonna get beat by Cleveland the first game.
We beat Cleveland the first game. We beat Cleveland the first game.
Y'all beat them. Y'all ain't even played yet.
I'm predicting
Man,
it.
you ain't predicting that. Cleveland gonna beat y'all, Joe.
Never.
When Cleveland beat y'all, Cleveland beat y'all.
Again.
When Cleveland look, cause they gonna start with Tyrod. When Tyrod beat y'all,
You know what's gonna happen?
look, cause y'all ain't get that man that money. Y'all the only team out there that get that man that money.
We play y'all.
Y'all ain't pay that
We play
man.
y'all this year. This is what we're gonna do.
They sell the PSA.
This is what we're gonna do. We play y'all this year. We go down to Jacksonville and play y'all this year.
Y'all coming to Jacksonville.
This is what we're gonna do.
What we gonna do?
The following Thursday after that game,
Right?
everybody gonna know who win because they come up here and they see you with a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey on.
Yeah. And if we win, what you gonna have on?
Jacksonville.
A Jacksonville what?
Jaguar.
Put some spec on it, man. You said that full name, Jacksonville Jaguar.
Put respect on my name.
And next week, Cleveland. I got Cleveland beating y'all next week, boy. They gonna beat the brakes off of y'all, man.
Your season's gonna
When y'all
start
come to do while we eat, boy. Hey,
Y'all say
one
we
more PSA, man. I hope this brother's still on, man. Happy anniversary, happy birthday to my homie, Rod Jackson. 2 years ago, man, this brother got his heart transplant, and today is his birthday. Today's his second birthday. So, Rod, I hope you're still on, bro. I seen that earlier. I seen you join the broadcast earlier. You know I wasn't gonna forget about you, man. You the homies, boy. You the quarterback that made it run for us, boy. I was looking at that book the other day, man. So you still looking good, man. And I thank God for giving you 2 birthdays, brother. So shout out to you from the Daily Bread Radio Show, from all of us to you. D. Callahan, get them ribs ready, man. Cause y'all go out to Calicues this weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Make sure you get out there and keep him selling out. So you know it's good because he's selling out. Hey, man, I'm playing the music. Man, come here, though, man. Hey, y'all have a beautiful week, man. Have a safe Labor Day, man. And I'll see y'all next Thursday. Same place, same time with another one. Another one. Look at that little boy. Look at that boy. I don't know about that. You see that gorilla? You see that goddamn gorilla? You see that goddamn gorilla, man? Hey, you see that goddamn? Hey!
I tell the microphone, he ain't gonna stop.
I don't need no microphone. Man.
I can't stop when your heart's going.
Man.